Previously we installed Python and an IDE, Visual Studio Code IDE. In my case, you can use whatever you like. Now let me make clear one point. Installing Python, what it means is installing an interpreter for Python, a software that interprets Python language. So Python is a language itself, just like a human language. Let's say you want to learn Spanish, you're going to speak Spanish to a human. The human will have their minds that will interpret the language you're going to speak. The computer will have an interpreter that will interpret the Python language that you speak to the computer to give you the output that you want. And to be able to communicate Python language to the computer, you need an IDE or a text editor. The difference between a text editor and an IDE is that an IDE is just a text editor with some enhanced functionalities designed for programming. Open your favorite IDE. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. If you want to change the theme of Visual Studio Code, go to Preferences, Settings, and then to Workbench, and then to Appearance, and finally to Color Theme. I'll choose Visual Studio Light. And you can close that tab, and you can open a terminal window inside Visual Studio Code, which is a great feature. There you can start Python. On Windows, you can just write Python to start Python 3. On Mac and Linux, you need to use 3 explicitly. So Python 3 for Mac and Linux, Python for Windows. If you see these arrows, that means Python has started. You can start to write Python code here. So let me try to use Python language to talk to my computer. I'm going to ask my computer to give me the current time. So I'm going to write Python code. To handle times in Python, you need to do import date time. When you do this import date time, you are importing a module. We'll cover modules later on. Now, once I imported the name of that module, I can refer to that name and then to another object inside that module. This time it happens to be the same name. So datetime.datetime, the object datetime of the module datetime. Now this object has another method inside, which is now. Execute that, and that will give you the current time. So that is the year, that is the month, the day, the hour, the minutes, seconds, and microseconds of this current moment. On my computer, at least. In yours should be different. So if you were able to do that, that's a good start.